हरिः ओम् जन्माद्यस्य यतोन्मयादितरतस्य अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्मरुधाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यं सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. This is a wonderful occasion from the time point of view. We are all locked down and we are facing a kind of disaster in the world. This is the time we should look into the Bhagavata Purana. Of course, in fact, every time is a good time to look into the Bhagavata Purana, but this is an opportunity that we can spend on looking at Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavata Purana is one of the 18 Puranas that is created by Vedavasa Rishi. So it is the last one that he created. There is a context behind why Vedavasa thought of creating Bhagavata Purana. If you look into this is Purana, Bhagavata Purana is the highest translated into any multiple languages, including European languages. This has 12 skandhas. Skandha is, we can call them as cantos. 12 cantos of Bhagavata Purana. And each skandha has several chapters. And each skandha represents one or the other different concepts. Especially first three skandhas, they talk about the first skandha and the second skandha. They talk about the context of the entire Bhagavata Purana. Third skandha onwards, the Bhagavata Purana starts. But today we shall look into the first canto, that is first skandha, which has 19 chapters in that. Second skandha has 10, third skandha has 33 cantos, chapters, like that. So the totally 18,000 odd slokas out of 12 skandhas. Now the context is Naimisharanya, the place in northern India. There were rishis who are doing this yajna and other things. That is a place always something or the other going on related to the spiritual activities. There comes a rishi called Suta Puranik. His name is Ugrashavas. He is also called as Suta Puranika. He comes to that Naimisharanya where this Shaunaka and other rishis are performing some yajnas. As soon as Ugrashavas comes, these people start asking questions about Ugrashavas. The Suta Puranika is a well-known Puranika of that time and is mostly a realized soul. So when he comes, the rest of the Shaunika rishis start asking questions about the purpose of the life, why the world is created, and what to do, how to lead the life, all those things. When it comes to a point when then Suta Puranika says, he talks about his teacher, his guru, that is Shukamuni. Shukamuni happens to, he mentions that there is a Bhagavad Purana called Bhagavata Purana, which is the one which will give us easy for us to get the salvation and all those things through reading or maybe studying that Purana. So that's how the Bhagavata starts its first chapter. The arrival of Ugrashavas, that is Suta Puranika, to Naimisharanya, and the people asking questions around that. And then he sets the context of the story. When I say Bhagavata Purana is a story, it is not one story. It is a stories, nested stories. For the people, the young adults who have studied, who have read Chronicles of Narnia or the Lord of the Ring kind of stories, or the Thor kind of stories, and you have seen the movies and all those things. This Bhagavata is much more well planned, well told, and with beautiful plots, lot of stories, lot of interesting contents. It is from the story point of view, it is very good, and the plot is wonderful. The way narration happens is beautiful, and Kavya, the literature point of view, it is ultimate, excellent literature work. Other than that, there is a lot of spiritual components. In fact, if I say it has everything that what we need, that if I say that, it's not wrong, because it has all the things. And some scholars say Bhagavata Purana, each sloka has seven meanings. Though at the outset it looks like one meaning, it has. If you go in deep inside and deep into the studying of Bhagavata Purana, you can it can reveal several different kinds of meanings that we can see in the stories, right? So that's why Bhagavata Purana has all the things. It has cosmology, it has zoology, it has genealogy, it has zoology, geology, whatever the studies you talk, it covers everything inside it. It has a physics inside. It talks about the creation of the world, cosmos, metaphysics. All that is there in Bhagavata Purana. If you read, if you go into that direction, or if you want to just listen to the story part, have the fun kind of thing, it has beautiful stories, stories that has nested stories, one story in another story kind of thing. So that way, Bhagavata Purana, it gives a digest of all the things. Like you can really enjoy the way you want. However, number of times you read, however, number of times you listen, Bhagavata Purana will never be a boring topic. So it is such a wonderful Purana. So now coming back to uh, Ugrasravas, that is the Sutta Puranika talking about his guru Shukamuni, sorry, Shukacharya, Shukamuni, in fact, Shukamuni, who is son of Vedavyas, by the way. Shukamuni is son of, Shuka is son of Vedavyas. And early on, after his early young, at the young age, he became so realized kind of soul, and he was complete sannyasi. He has attained much more higher level consciousness. Looks like more than Vedavyas, because there is a story wherein Shuka gets out of his home. He starts walking out at the age of 16 or so, and Vedavyasa is after him. Not he goes after him, saying not to go out, just to stay with him and all those things. But no, this guy, he's like a avadhut. He walks out, and he walks out naked. So when he's going, he walks out naked. He's so unaware of things what is happening around him. So especially the women nearby that area, they don't feel any offensive kind of thing, because this guy is so attained soul. And but when Vedavyasa comes, they feel, because women maybe looks like they were bathing in a river or something, and when the Shukamuni walks around that place, they don't feel anything bad. But when Vedavyasa comes there, they try to cover themselves. And he asked, why? When my son, he's a young 16-year-old boy, he's going around and you did not feel anything, and why did you do? I think this may be a story, made up of story. But somehow they want to mention here that Shukamuni is a very highly elevated soul than Vedavyasa. So he learned all the Puranas from his father, Vedavyasa. Now, Sutta Puranika is talking about Shukamuni. He's that kind of realized soul. So he is the one who communicated Bhagavatam to Parikshit Raj at certain point. Now the context again, they want to set it how the Purana got created. The Purana got created when there is one more story. Once, after all, Vedavyasa is the one who classified all the uh, Vedas into four Vedas, the wisdom and ancient wisdom. He classified into four Vedas. He wrote 17 Puranas. and he was resting at a place. Maybe it was in a Badrinath area. He was resting at a place, but he was not feeling comfortable. He was feeling something is missing from the life. That is the time when he was totally in a meditative kind of mood. Narada comes. I think Narada is nothing but a intuition kind of feeling, or maybe Narada is a person, whatever it is. In that case, Narada comes to Vedavyas Maharshi, and he's asking him, "Why are you not happy? So many things we have done, wonderful. We have classified Vedas into four Vedas, and you have given so many Puranas to the world. People should be really happy about you, and you must be. You have achieved so much. Why are you feeling still uh, unhappy, uncomfortable?" Then Vedavyasa says, the reason may be that somehow I'm feeling everything whatever I have done is incomplete. I don't know what is the reason. Then Narada in fact talks about he also felt in a long time back like that. He was son of a slave, that is a Sutaputra. He was a Sutaputra or something like that. But he ended up working with a Swamiji in Chaturmasya. Then, because of his association with him, he got a glimpse of God in his sometime back, because his mother dies. Narada's mother dies, and he starts walking away without knowing where to go. In the forest, he realizes there's a presence of God in him for a moment. Then he's after that, like whatever that he felt, he tries to feel it again. Then he hears a sound, and Akashawani or something. It so totally talks about bhakti is the main thing that you must be thinking of, and he walks away. Then Vedavasa starts thinking, "Oh, very nice. What is that I did not do in what I wrote?" He also wrote Mahabharata and all those things. Then he realizes, okay, one place, one thing he feels is, I missed writing more about Bhagavan, more about Krishna, more about Vishnu's Leela, Maya. Because when he wrote Mahabharat, the appearance of Krishna happens only after Krishna has become 50 year or maybe 50, 54-year old. That means in his Mahabharata story, Krishna appears in story when Krishna's age is 54, 54 or 53 years. So what happened to the early part of Krishna? The Krishna Leela, Bala Leela is missed, right? That is not at all recorded or not at all told. So that may be the one that he feels, because Narada came and he triggered something about bhakti. Then Vedavyasa now is feeling, oh, looks like I missed that part where the Krishna's Leela I did not cover. So mainly a Purana should be based on bhakti. So he decides to write a Purana which is fully involved with a lot of bhakti kind of thing. So he decides writing that. So that, but before he writes, he thinks of Mahabharata, what happened in Mahabharata. So they say when he thinks of writing Bhagavata, he thinks of Vasudeva Bhakti. Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Mukhaha, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva para Kriyaha, Vasudeva param Dhanam, Vasudeva param Tapaha, Vasudeva paro Dharmo, Vasudeva paragatihi. This is how he thinks about Vasudeva is the paragatihi. Then he thinks of so many avatars. How that means now he started structuring everything around Vasudeva. So he starts structuring his Bhagavata Purana around Vasudeva. That means he starts writing 22 avatars of Bhagavan in this entire 12 skandhas. But mainly he is focused on Ashtama skandha, that is Krishna Avatara story. That is the beautiful part. In fact, whoever nowadays talks about Bhagavata, they start with Bhagavata Puran and then directly enter into the Ashtamaskanda Krishna Leela Varnana, that they cover entire part of their discourses and complete. But actually, Bhagavata Purana has 22 Varnana of 22 avatars. More than avatars, it has other side stories, related stories. Everything has a message. Every story is a symbolic. You understand one way. If you just go the story part, you understand the story part. If you go deep inside the principles or the philosophy, you can understand in a different way. Each story will touch our heart and soul if it read properly or understood, listened properly. So now he starts structuring these things, and then he comes to a point where uh, what happened in the Mahabharat. So last days of Mahabharat, he thinks of how Krishna left the world. Then Arjuna, after he goes to, again, it starts with the story where the Parikshita is in womb of Uttara, Uttara's Garbha. Then uh, then he is struck by the Brahmastra used by Ashwatthama. Then Krishna protects him by surrounding his Vishnu chakra around his in the womb, and that's how Parikshita is called as Parikshita. When he borns, his Parikshita name is kept. So Parikshita is the son of Arjuna, grandson of Arjuna, son of Abhimanyu, then son of grandson of Arjuna. So he remembers all those things, how the Ashwatthama misused the Brahmastra and how Krishna tried to protect Parikshitraj and all those things. And when the Krishna leaves this world, then Arjuna feels that he lost everything because he was very close friend of Arjuna. Arjuna goes to Dwarka and he learns that Krishna has gone, already left the life. He comes back. On the way back, he was attacked by the local dacoits. Same Gandhiva is there, same Ratha is there, everything is there, but Arjuna could not defeat them. He loses the battle with small dacoits. He realizes the presence of Krishna is missing, so that's how he failed. So it is a symbolic again. So if we miss the Krishna consciousness, if we do the things without the presence of awareness of the God, then we defeat in all those our efforts, kind of thing. That means we need Krishna Bhakti, or maybe the presence of God. It doesn't have to be named called Krishna, but Bhagavan, presence of God, and focused towards that. If we miss that component, then it is all failure, kind of thing. Even at the mundane life, we look at around. Sometimes we think we have achieved something. After some time, you realize it is not what you wanted, or what maybe it is not worth achieving, kind of thing. So that's how Bhagavata starts opening up with this background of Vedavyasa thinking about what happened in the last days of Mahabharata time, then up to birth of this Parikshit Raj. So that's how he starts the Bhagavata Puran. Then a point comes in the where they decide the how the story is told, who started, like this is how the creation of the Bhagavata happened. The way Vedavyasa thinks through the things and then frames together and creates the story of all the 22 avatars and other remaining characters around these stories, and he writes the Bhagavata. Then the same story is received by Shukamuni, and now Kali Yuga. Now the it happens in the Kali Yuga that as soon as the Duryodhana dies, that is the day Kali Yuga started, right? Then that means 30, after that 36 to 40 years, Krishna lived in this Kali Yuga, and also the Dharmaraya and others, they lived. Now all these brothers, Dharmaraya and brothers, they they decide, because Krishna is left the world, so they want to go. So before they go, they make Parikshit as the king of their land. Then they coronate him and they go. After maybe 30-35 years, when Parikshit Raja is doing wonderful, like he's son of the Arjun, grandson of Arjuna and Dharmaraya, right? They were Pandavas. So he led a wonderful life, and the dharma was there, very wonderful things were happening. But still, it was a Kali Yuga, early part of the Kali Yuga. Everything was going good. So, as a king, he goes to the forest to hunt the wild animals to protect the people. One day he goes out, he is in the deep forest. On the way back, he feels thirsty. That's how the story unfolds here, where it takes us to. This is the story leading us to the Bhagavata, Purana, Pravachanas. Then, when he is on the way, he finds a place where there is a Rishi ashrama is there, and he thinks, okay, I shall go and get water there. And Shamik Rishi ashrama, it is called Shamik Rishi's ashrama. He comes nearby that. Maybe it's afternoon, it's very hot. And there is a Rishi, the Shamik Rishi is in a meditation sitting there. Nobody is around him. Far away, kids were playing. And he thinks that it is this Rishi is in his kingdom, so he will recognize and help. But in between returning from the forest to Shamik Rishi, there was something happened. That was when on the way, Parikshit Raj comes across a person cutting legs of a cow. Again, it is a symbolic here, right? Uh, he looks at the person who is cutting. He's already cut three legs of the cow, and the cow is trying to stand on one leg, and he's holding it, and he's at the verge of cutting the fourth leg. Then, being a king of the land, so he stops them. Hey, what is that you are doing? You are not supposed to hurt the cow. Cow uh, is divine for us, right? You should not do. Then he aims that arrow towards that person. That person is nothing but a Kali who liberated uh, Duryodhana. As when Duryodhana dies, this Kali is wandering around. Now he is in this position of cutting the legs. So now they say the cow is representation of the dharma. So as Kali got liberated, now he is making sure Kali Yuga will be full of adharmas. They say in Satya Yuga, dharma is standing on the four legs. That means it's stable. Then Dwapara Yuga and Treta Yuga, it is losing its leg. Kali Yuga, it is the only one leg left. That means dharma is reducing its value as the Kali Yuga is entering. So that is the symbol here, symbolic representation. So now Kali is the one who is causing all those things. Now, story part. Principle is different. Now the story is in the story that Parikshit Raja is aiming the arrow at Kali, says, Kali, you have to stop doing this. That Kali says, no, 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 this was my duty, I was doing this way. Oh, I can. He says, not in my land, you should not be doing these things. Get out, kind of thing. So, but Kali says, no, where should I go? I surrender to you. You are a king. Especially a king from Pandavas is known for mercy. Now I'm at your feet. Please don't kill me. Since it is typical Indian mindset, right? If somebody surrenders, they say, okay, survive, be with us, kind of thing. So he says, okay, you can be here. Then he says, give me four places where I can be. If you don't want to be here, what should I do? Then he says, Kali says, sorry, Parikshit Raja says, okay, you can stay in four places where there is a greed of money, where there is women are being sold, where the place the gambling happens, and there is a greed and like a gold, something like that. Then also in the alcohol kind of place, lot all the things which are the cause for the taking a person to adharma side. He says, okay, I'll be there. Gold is one of the greedy thing, right? So I'll be there in gold. So he moves away from their place, and Parikshit Raja is back to his on the way back to this Saumiki Rishi's place. Now we left the story at the Saumika Rishi is in meditation. Parikshit Raja is there, and he has seen this all these events happened. And when these events happened, Kali said he will be in the gold. Now, though Parikshit Raj has left him not killing, but he did not care. He entered in his kirita on the Parikshit Raja's head. So now, because of his presence in that gold, that's what they say. Because of that, now Parikshit Raja is in a position to make mistakes, committing the mistake. He is in a prejudice. He is now come to a conclusion. If Shaumika Rishi, though he is in a meditation, and I am the king of the land coming here, and I'm so thirsty, he should have courtesy to open his eyes and invite me and give me some water. But he is ignoring me. That's what he felt. Maybe Saumika Rishi was in the deep samadhi sthiti. He must have not known about the presence of uh, Parikshit Raj being there. But Parikshit Raj don't think like that. He doesn't think that way. He thinks that he's being insulted. So if let us stop here and think. We also in our life do such mistakes, like judging somebody is insulting. We think somebody is insulting us, though they are not, intention is not there, but we lose our mind sometimes thinking wrong things about the other people. The same thing happened with Parikshit Raj because of the Kali Pravesha. So now he thinks, okay, this guy is acting like this, let me teach him a lesson. Nearby there is a snake, dead snake is there. He takes that snake with that arrow, puts around the neck of Shaumik Rishi, and he thinks, okay, let him get back to his normals, and he will see uh, what I have done. That means he feels that he has insulted Shaumik Rishi and walks away from there. As soon as he walks away, these kids who are playing far away, they come near this Rishi and they see there is a snake, dead snake in Shaumik Rishi's neck. Shaumik Rishi has a son called Shringi, maybe 9 to 11-year-old boy. Since he is son of Shaumik Rishi, he is very well educated, and he has attained some siddhi, Omkara siddhi or something like that. So whatever he says, he's a Brahmana kid, right? Whatever he says, that will happen. Like Vak siddhi has happened. That boy looks at his dad. Somebody has put a dead snake in his father's neck. Other kids motivate him to say, you have the power. Somebody has insulted your father. Give them a curse so that they should know who they tried to play. All those things, they encourage this boy to misuse that power. That boy being a 9 to 11-year-old boy, and he says, okay, whoever has put this snake in my father's neck will be bit by a snake within 7 days, and they will die. This happens. Maybe after some time, Shaumik Rishi comes to normal, like out of the meditation, and he realizes that what happened. There is a snake in his head, dead snake in his head, and he thinks, he knows that his son has cursed the king of the land. Shaumika feels very bad, not because king has put a snake in his neck, because Rishi, the Parikshit Raj have been cursed. He doesn't like it. A king should be praised. King should be supported. But what is that my Shringi has done? What is this boy has done? He calls him and he says, why did you misuse? He doesn't beat him up, unlike we do, right? We'll do When our kid commits mistake, with the first thing we do is we'll come and they make sure they learn the lesson. Sometimes we start beating up, right? Though Shringi has done a blunder here, Shomik Rishi does not lose his temper. He says what you have done is not good, so you should have not cursed a king. It is not only one king, one person. It is the entire nation is cursed by you, because of a good king will be lost. But since you have a power and this will happen, so now we have to do something, help the person who we have cursed. So immediately calls two other young adults of Sri Ashram, tells them that go communicate the same to uh, Parikshit Raj, saying that you have been cursed by my son. So this is, and you have to take it seriously and do the penance or tapas or whatever remaining 7 days. Go ahead and take care of yourself. And I'm sorry, kind of thing. Then he teaches his son, saying that you have lost your power now. It takes long time to gain that. So whenever you have power, attain the power. Do not misuse. This is one more lesson. Do not get angry even though someone is insulted you, like Shrungi. He never gets angry because though he got insulted. Now he is trying to help a person who insulted him. That is Parikshit Raj. So these are the small lessons we learn on the way when we are narrating the story and learning. This is the context being set for the Bhagavata Puran. We have not entered into the Bhagavata Puran yet. Now, Parikshit Raja being cursed. Now, Parikshit Raja decides, look at the greatness of Raja. He does not come back and fight with these guys. As soon as he keeps his Kirita down in his home, once he goes home and it puts it down, he realizes, that means the Kali Pravesh is gone. He realizes that what I have done is wrong with the Shomika Rishi. I should have not even judged him. I went to his ashram begging for water and I insulted him just for a small silly reason. Why did I do? He is suffering from that. I mean, the same time, these the people from this hermitage Rishi ashram come there. They communicate, convey the message of the of Shomika Rishi, saying that he has been cursed and he will be die in 7 days. So better take care of yourself, whatever the best you can do in 7 days to attain the highest level, possible level in this janma. There, if you see, Manava Janma Doddodo, Idu Hani Mandali Bedi Huchapagalira, a Dasarayar poem talks about the body we got, Manava Janma we got is worthwhile. So now that's where is the mindset of Parikshit Raj. Now he wants to, within remaining 7 days. Now at least he knows that he has 7 days to survive. Unlike us, we don't know how long we. It may be tomorrow, today. We don't know, right? But we don't still think of how to make it success, kind of thing. The birth we took in this life. So here, Parikshit Raja is doing the decides he should make all the possible attempt to attain highest consciousness level within remaining 7 days. He calls his son called his son, his name is Janamejaya. He 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 coronates him and he makes him the king of the country, and he leaves everything there. He decides to walk out from there. He walks towards Naimisharanya. I don't think it is not Naimisharanya. He walks towards some Ganga river's place, nearby is a place, maybe one of the place near in Uttar Pradesh, because there were sages performing all these penance and other things. He goes to that place where some ashrama is there, where he can ask the question. He goes with his people and he stays there. At the same time, the Shukamuni appears there. The Shukamuni is son of Vedavas, the one we talked about earlier, right? He appears there. When everything is ready, when we are ready to receive the knowledge, God sends the Guru. And we might have seen similar things happening, miracles happening in our life. When we put 100% effort on something, result will show up. Same thing happened with Parikshit Raj. He is thinking of to do something, and this Rishi walks by nearby that place, Shukamuni, and he tells that, see what I have done, the blunder, I did this mistake, and now being got cursed, and I will be dying in 7 days. Please help me attain the best possible level in my current life. Shukamuni says, good that you got back to your normals, and now you are thinking of what to do the bhakti and other things, and you get to the next level. It's not too late, okay. And he says it happened with other person also. He talks about a story that we're going to talk in next session about Khatwang Maharaj. Now, three questions to Shukamuni by Parikshit Raj. What one should lead, how one should lead life when we get a human life. If we are animals and other things, we don't have consciousness. I don't know what they do, but since we get consciousness level, we are aware of awareness. We have the awareness of we are human being. But how one should lead the life. What kind of life I should lead when taking birth as a human being. Second thing question is, what is that one should do they know when they know they are going to die in a short period. That means they already know this is the day I'm going to die. 7 days now. So what should I do? Third one is the 7 days sufficient to attain that moksha level, perform the ability? All those questions he's asking. So Shukumani says, number one question, answer for the question three. Yes, it is possible. There was a king called Katwang in the Treta Yuga, and I will tell his story. He got moksha within 24 minutes of when he comes to know he is going to die within 24 minutes. So that is one hope for you. Second thing is he's going to answer both the questions. So now I will stop at this point, and in the next session we shall find out who is Khatwang Maharaj and what one should do in a day-to-day life, and what was the answer from Shukamuni about the what to do when you know you are going to die within a short period. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.